Hey carnivores, this is Karen Goes Carnivore. How's it going today? So just woke up a little while ago and I thought I think I'm going to do a coffee with Karen. I do this on my other channel, Ask the Spirit Guides. And I think I'm going to do a coffee with Karen on this channel because I just think there's things I just want to like talk about in general when it comes to being carnivore. And not necessarily like one video about this and one video about that. Just things that I've been thinking about. Last night I slept like 9.5 hours. I can feel my body is healing something, which I just love so much about this particular way of eating. The idea that we're so focused, this community is very focused on it being a healing process. And I just love that so much. And my eye has been this eye has been really itchy, which is unusual. It could be an allergy, I suppose, but I'm thinking it's maybe more of an oxalate is what I'm thinking. I have no idea. But that my eye's been kind of itchy. I'm clearing my throat more than I have over the last last couple of weeks. I am now 6 weeks into carnivore, just so you know. And very solidly. My husband and I went to a fair yesterday and we were playing bingo. I haven't played bingo in a long time. They were taking so long in between sessions, like in between rounds. And we were like, okay, we only played two because they were taking so long. It was small little town. But he wanted it. The reason I brought the fair up is he was like, I'm going to get a funnel cake. Now he's been carnivore too. I'm like, are you serious? Get a funnel cake? And it's so interesting because my food noise is so cleared up. And once I've kind of dedicated myself to something, it can take me a while, but once I do it, like I'm done. Like, I did it. If I would have had the funnel cake yesterday, I would have just went back to my normal eating. I bet. Like I know myself, the addiction of it, But all I could think of is what oil are they cooking that in? That's disgusting. How old is that oil? How toxic is that oil? And then not to mention the sugar, because I have felt so calm, like I mentioned in a different coffee with Karen, that there's just no way. Like I don't want to feel that way anymore. So the addiction of like, the only reason I used to like to go to a fair is so I could get a funnel cake. Like, it's not that wouldn't be the only reason, but I did wonder, could I even have fun at a fair now without the food, Because it's always been about the food first and then the fair second, But it was fun. I was looking at people, it didn't matter. I was like, I don't care. I'm not putting that in my body. I'm trying not to be judgmental of people who are, because that's not very nice. And I don't want to spend my energy being judgmental about stuff like that either. So, have you guys noticed the meat prices? Oh my gosh. I am not kidding you. In there's a brand, grass-fed, grass-finished, that I buy on a regular basis. Okay. Really good steaks. And the ribeye went from $21.99 a pound to $25.99 a pound in like the last couple weeks. It was just a couple weeks ago that I bought it at $21.99 a pound. I'm like, are you kidding me? That's how much. And I think the meat prices, I don't have total proof on this. I tried to do a little research on this. But it looks like, and I heard somebody talking about it. I don't have the receipts, I don't have the proof or like I said, the research on this. So just do your own research on this. Don't take this as word, obviously. But that Texas farmers, because of the immigration, the whatever they're doing with immigrants. Well, we know what they're doing with immigrants, but I'm not going to talk about politics on this channel. I do that on my other channel. So, but the farmers, and this is probably all over the United States. So if you are aware of this stuff, please comment. Let's try not to make it political. because we're just exploring like the meat prices. But I have a feeling the meat prices are going to go up even more because the farmers are not being supported the way that they need to be supported to and to run their farms. And with the tariffs on Brazil, I guess the tariffs on Brazil is like 50% up, I think. And we get a lot of meat from Brazil. So the less meat that's coming in to the country, even if it's not like, grass-fed, grass-finished, then we got a supply and demand issue, right? So even our grass-fed, grass-finished, which is great because it'll support, if people are going to eat meat, it's going to make it harder for people to eat meat, basically, which is really, in terms of our health, not amazing, because they're going to go to the processed food, which, is a political issue. And it's like, maybe it's hard not to mix politics. Well, it's not even politics. It's just what corporations want. Corporations, and even the carnivores will admit this. Corporations want us eating processed food. They want us eating, pharmaceuticals want us eating it too. Big pharma, because they'll keep us sick, It's really sad, isn't it? And we do have to look at those issues. But from a financial perspective, holy schmoly, it's going to be challenging for a lot of people. So my point in talking about the meat prices rising is, if you can stock up a little bit now on whatever you're eating, try to do that as much as you can. If you can buy another freezer to freeze some stuff, that might be, if I'm thinking about buying another freezer, because if we buy another freezer, the amount I pay on that, the freezer itself will become free, because I'll have saved by buying meat now before the prices go up even higher. So I have a feeling they're going to. Anywho, what else is on my mind this morning? What's on your mind? How are you feeling today? How are you feeling today with your carnivore process, your journey? Anything you're healing right now? Anything coming up for you? Like I said, my eye's a little itchy. I'm doing this throat clearing, which I haven't eaten carbs, so it's interesting to me that it's clearing. But maybe, I'm just, something's, coming up. Like I said, I slept 9.5 hours last night, so I really needed some extra sleep. I am finding actually that I've been kind of relying too much on drinking. So this is a mug for my other channel. I call everybody bedheads because I do Coffee with Karen and say bedheads, but it sounds like buttheads. So somebody sent me this mug. Isn't that cute? And that's me looking around the mug. She obviously took a picture of me going like that, Isn't that funny? A subscriber sent that to me. Isn't that sweet? But I have an egg yolk in here. Some of you might have heard me describe what I have in my coffee already. I have an egg yolk. I have butter and a tiny, tiny bit of stevia. So, but I enjoy this so much. I'm never getting rid of this. Unless I could not heal, but I can. I mean, this is great. And I'll go to decaf coffee if I really want to start calming my nervous system down more, or my, not necessarily my cortisol levels. If I need to calm that down even more, then I will start to go to decaf, which is fine. But I'll still get my butter and my egg yolk. So it's delicious. But I've been relying on that. Like, I'll even do a third one in the morning because I usually do 4 a day. So I have 4 egg yolks and then 4 tablespoons of butter that way. So, but I do, and then I'm not hungry for like lunch at noon. But I'm finding if I do that, then I eat a smaller lunch. So I almost need to just do 2 Wait till I'm hungry, have an earlier lunch, and then an earlier dinner because I'll eat lunch at like 2 p.m. and then I'm not hungry until 8. And I really don't want to eat that close to going to bed. So I need to adjust that. I'm going through that adjustment period right now. Um, and I could do just OMAD, like I could do one meal a day. I easily could. It's just that I would rather eat one steak and then a hamburger rather than a steak and a hamburger all in one meal. I would rather split it up personally. I just don't think I would enjoy, because I really have learned that I don't really enjoy the meat, or I didn't. Now it's better, but I don't really enjoy having a steak unless I'm like hungry. Not hungry for a steak, but just hungry. I'm just hungry. But I have found in the afternoons, about 4 p.m., that if I didn't eat a substantial meal, that I'm actually tired at like 4 a.m. or 4 p.m. I've noticed that. Then I'll go to the coffee. And it's like, no, no, no. Go to the food because I need to, obviously, my body's not getting enough nutrition from some meat. So I need to increase, or make sure that I have lunch at like noon rather than waiting until like 3, which is what I've been doing because I'm not hungry. So I need to not go to a third coffee. I'm just sharing this because maybe you have some thoughts on how you've been doing it. Everybody's body is going to be different, right? But it's just because I enjoy that so much. I enjoy the drink so much. But I need to not rely on enjoying the drink so much. It's kind of been my dessert now. So probably have a little addiction to it. But it's just enjoyable. It just tastes good. Anywho, that's what's on my mind today. How are you doing with carnivore today? All right, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.